So we've created our tokens, styles, and global components, and we released that to feature teams to start consuming. We then hit a stage where feature teams now need to create their own component level tokens because they need to make certain overrides. As a result of that, they then duplicate your collection view. So the same collection name and the same modes. And as a result of that, when they go to their designs and they want to switch from light mode to dark mode, they have to do it twice. So they, for the global tokens, they'll go light mode to dark mode, and then they have to go to their local theme collection. Even though everything's named the same, they have to switch that as an additional step. What ideally we would like to do is, with the ability of extended collections, is that irrespective of how many collections you would have, that you can switch from light mode to dark mode and it applies it to across various components. We don't have that feature just yet by Figma, but this is just a slight workaround that I have where you can go in and go to your global token theme and switch that to dark mode, and it will impact all of your additional collections, where even if I go to my local themes here and I switch it back to light mode, it will have no impact at all. So I can switch between these and there will be no difference there. And the way I've done that, and before we kind of dig deep into the actual solution, just want to explain the structure that I currently have. We have a global token theme, and these are just some colors that I've created here. So background and text. I then have a global component library where I have a component here. I then have a local token collection here, which is just the override that the feature team might need to make. They then have their own local component library, which I have over here. So these are the components that we're using. And then you have your journey file in which we're then building these screens. The implementation that I have used is the first step being within my global token collection, I have a text string variable, and you can call this relative to what you want to call it. In this case, I've just called it mode. And I've then replicated the mode names here. So light and dark. If I then go to the local component library here, and I go to the second set of components that I've created, we'll build this from scratch together so you can kind of understand how this process works. But I've basically duplicated or created new components, and then I've attached that text string variable to it. So what we'll do is we'll just recreate this very quickly. What I'll do is I'll just take one of these as an example and detach them. So we just got everything ready from scratch. And essentially, in terms of the tokens that we want to apply, I want to make sure that I'm applying the local tokens that I have over here, that I'm demonstrating over here in this collection. And you just apply them as you normally would. So in this case, we already have that set up and applying to and pointing to the second tokens or variable collections. Once you've done that, we can convert that into a component. And what we want to do is create, for each mode that we have, in this case, we're trying to cater for two modes, light mode and dark mode. We will create a variant for each mode. So I'll do that here on both sides here. And what we'll do is we will set the theme in that for that collection to light and dark. So in this case, it's light. In this case, we'll set it to dark. I'm using a copy from the previous component. That's why we're seeing theme already applied here, but you would not see it by default. You just have to go here within the layer section to apply a light or dark theme here. So we're just going to do that quickly over here. So we're pointing to light and dark from our local token collection set. What we want to do also is ensure we privatize this component set so we don't publish it. And the reason for doing so is when we make a copy of this instance over here, what we then want to do is wrap these into another component. And so these ones or these sets will be the ones that we want to publish. So in this case, we can call this one panel C and panel D. And the last crucial step that we need to do is we can select both of these components and hit enter. And so we can select the nested component here. And what we want to do is, because they're two separate components, of course, what we want to do is ensure that we attach that text string component, variable. So we're just going to attach that, and you'll kind of see that it actually crosses out the variable that we've attached. And that's because we haven't named the properties correctly here. So what we're going to do is going to detach that quickly. We're going to come into the component and we'll call this mode as well. And we'll then call this light to match the mode name. And this is crucial to match the mode name, dark. And we'll do the same here. So light, dark, and we'll call that mode. So now that these match, I can go inside of these and make sure that I then attach it to that string variable I've created from the global token collection. And I'll do that here as well. Once you've done that, it's all about publishing this component and then reusing it within your journey. So in this case, what we can do is publish this new set of components. Once that's done, we can go into our journey file. I will make a copy of this and reset the two components. And let's change that back. So let's drag out our two components, which we don't have available here. We do. Oh, sorry, it's in here. Okay, so we'll drag out C, drag out D, and what we'll do is we'll just paste to replace. So now that we've replaced these, we can see that over here, that we've replaced them here. When we go into our layers and then we go to the global token collection and we switch to dark mode, we'll see that it switches all of the components, whether it's referencing our global component or our local components, to adhere to the global token theme via the text string variable.